CYCLO1224 here, back with my 9th video game review, and because of technical difficulties, I decided to do a game review on one of my favorite games of all time. It's a game called LifeForce. Came out in 1987, and I'm guessing between 87 and like 89, I played this game more than any other game. I rented it enough to where I probably should have just saved up and bought it, but tell that to a kid who wants to play it right now. But it's a fantastic game made by Konami. A lot of Konami games are fantastic, especially on the Nintendo from back then. It's a side-scrolling as well as vertical spaceship shooter. The ships you pilot, one of my favorite things about this game is the ship you are, the one player, is called the Vic Viper. And I didn't know what the other ship was called for a long time until I recently found out it's actually called Lord British, which makes me want to start laughing, but that's just really, I don't know who came up with those names, if that's just an odd translation from Japanese to American or to English. But I thought that was pretty funny. Vic Viper and Lord British. You can see here that the design of all the enemies and stuff and the ships is great for an NES game. Only 8 bits, but they did a great job on it. It sounds good. The level design is pretty good for the time. It's not that difficult. It's a cool thing about this game. It is kind of like another Konami game, Contra. Well, I believe it's the same code. Up, up, down, down, left, right, B, A, start. Gives you 30 guys on here, just like Contra. So I popped that in for this review. It's really not that hard of a game, though, because you can memorize each level. You know, it's the same old bullet patterns, but it doesn't make it like you're gonna die. I mean, I can't beat this game without continuing. But I'm sure it's a game that people who are used to playing much higher paced shooters could probably beat this game pretty easily. It's an old game though, but as you can see here, cool ribcage you're flying through. I love the design of all the background and all the lasers shooting there. And you're gonna see a really cool boss here coming up. Call him Squiggly Eye Skull. He just vomits bubbles at you. But it's fantastic looking how his eyes just rattle all around in his head. He looks so goofy. It's hilarious. But remember when I was a kid, I had a hard time beating this guy. Just because it's hard to tell sometimes if you're really hitting him. You gotta go by the sound. Nothing really happens on the characters of the bosses. Anyways, moving on to I believe this is the 4th stage. It's kind of a cavern-y stage and lots of cool stuff in here. It changes around, it gets kind of odd. I'm not too familiar with the story, but later on it's going to take on like a ancient, yeah, you can see there, like a Egyptian motif going on. I don't really know why. Like I say, when I was a kid I never had the instructions for this or nothing. I don't know the story. But I just know you're supposedly in some sort of big creature, like the size of a planet. I don't know why he has, I think that's the Sphinx's head rolling around in him. But this level looks really great. Kind of psychedelic-y. At first I thought you couldn't hit the edges there, but you totally can. Doesn't hurt you at all, so I was just making it more difficult for myself. You never know though in these type of games, if you run into something you're screwed. The nostalgia factor for this game is great. This right here, well, Easter Island heads you see, that's kind of odd. Again, it's eating, it must be eating everything from Earth up, I don't know, but they were also in Solar Jetman, the Easter Island heads. Them damn things love Nintendo. I love Nintendo. Great boss here. It's like a little planetoid with a snake flying around it. I believe that's the creature on the cover. I don't know if it's In Japan, this game's called Salamander. I don't think that's a salamander. I think that's a snake, but I don't know why they call it Salamander there. We call it LifeForce. I don't know why we call it LifeForce. I love this ending. Reminds me of the end of Star Wars. I don't remember what it was on Super Nintendo, but you're flying out of the Death Star. In this one, you're flying out of some green creature's guts, and then you blow them up at the end. But, there's my copy. Paid $3 for it in town here. Great game, you can find it no problem. You'll have a blast with it. This game is LifeForce for the Nintendo Entertainment System. It is awesome. You should buy it. Or play it, rent it, whatever. You can't rent it no more. Have a good day. Cyclo out.